September 27th, Saturday, and it is still lovely in New Jersey in the Northeast. Today I think is going to approach 80 degrees even in New Jersey. So I'm taking advantage of it. Listen, the weather's about to change. We'll move more strongly into fall and start getting into the Halloween spirit, but it's glorious stuff. I really do believe New Jersey and a number of other Northeast states, but for New Jersey, but for Sandy, were beneficiaries of global warming. The weather's been outstanding. So enjoy everyone this really final weekend where you can even go to the pool. So something I had read, and I'm gonna sort of adopt it because they did a very good job of expressing my sentiments. So all my life I've believed in the promise of America. The idea that America was an exceptional country, the world's greatest democracy. I admit that I fully bought in to this mythology that whatever our flaws, we were at heart a kind and generous nation whose citizens tenaciously believed in democracy and the rule of law, that we were jealous guardians of freedom at home and abroad, and that we were a shining example of those ideals to the world, that we were a beacon of freedom and justice for all. I understand now, in a way I never could have ever perceived, that America isn't special. We're a nation of human beings and people, humans, are right here in America, are no less susceptible to cheap demagoguery and lies and false promises and division and hatred. We've been torn apart. What does this have to do with the Ryder Cup, you may ask? Well, for those of you who have been following me, I'm not watching the Ryder Cup. I'm a big golf fan, but I'm not watching the Ryder Cup. Why? Because I don't want any part of Donald Trump. I can't take it. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him attaching himself to the event. I don't want to see him flying his plane out there and shaking hands and being applauded. I don't want to hear USA, USA chants when what the hell is, we're completely divided. USA, USA, dip the chip. It's a joke. What many of you stand for has nothing to do with what America really stands for. And I don't think you really understand what America stands for. Because I really do think, in your heart of heart, I mean, you're ignorant. I suspect you've never really studied, ever, the Declaration of Independence, the Revolutionary War, the Constitution. You've bought in to insanity and hatred and division and bullies and name-calling and going after your enemies in retaliation, and you are whipped into a frenzy. You think this is great. I recently saw a movie called The Woman in Gold. about a painting that was done by Augustus Klimt, a famous Austrian painter of a Jewish aristocrat, if you will. And ultimately the Nazis pillaged, stole all the paintings and the business and the jewelry and a Stradivarius cello and all. And years later, the daughter, now an old woman settled in Southern California, fought to get this painting back. And it was a remarkable movie, by the way. Helen Mirren and Ryan Reynolds. It was beautifully shot, a true story, well told. But it was devastating when you really look back and you see it, because they also did flashback shots, real flashback shots. And you see the Austrians throwing flowers at the Nazis and so excited for Hitler to be there. Well, that's the United States of America. We now have a bogus president who flaunts that he's above the law. He's a felon. He's a rapist. He's using the country as an ATM and his leverage to extract payments from people who want things. He's on the take. That's what it means. He's completely on the take. So those of you who, this is great, this is our kind of guy, I don't think you should ever be allowed to bring any action for those who steal from you, right? For those who are on the take. Because this is what you applaud. We've now seen how Americans will blindly follow a leader who validates their prejudices, encourages their fears and hatred of others that are unlike them, promises facile solutions to all their problems. Yeah, I can solve the Ukraine war in 12 minutes, right? And gives them permission to be their worst selves. What went on at the UN this week was a laughing stock. This is Hal Mintz. Thumbs up, feet up. Thank you.